What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another game show. My name's H.A. Gills. How y'all doing? We are back once more with the weekly show. I know it's super late, but my back finally stopped hurting. I've been in a lot of pain today. I don't know what, if I was just leaning over the tables or something while I was at work. It's just my back was really hurting today. So I spent a lot of the day pretty much just lying down. So either way, I'm doing all right. Kind of tired, so if I seem a little low energy, that's why. But I am going to at least get this weekly show out to you guys, or well, hopefully today. Hopefully it'll be uploaded by midnight. Either way, doesn't matter. Really, as the title shows, it's just kind of some bits and bobs this week. Really not the biggest piece of news was the fact that Shawn Layden ended up leaving Sony, and I already covered that earlier this week. We haven't had any more news drop on that situation. So all we really have right now is speculation. Me personally, I would say the two most likely scenarios are, and I'm going in most likely to, they're in order. The most likely situation that I think there is that Shawn is going to go join a developer and just kind of work on a smaller, I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. Work on a smaller scale, specifically with a developer on game development and whatnot. That's my guess. Or the other option. The other thing that I think could be is health reasons, but I doubt it's health reasons. Other than that, I really can't think of a reason why he'd end up leaving Sony. I mean, I've seen rumors that people are like, oh, well, he's jumping ship early, that Sony's going to collapse, and I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, this video is kind of... There we go. That was annoying me. Sony's been having, I don't want to say some scandals, it's the whole thing that they're pulling out and changing, and as people are saying, censoring bits of Japanese games that are being pulled over from Japan and getting some Western releases. I would argue, if you're going to do that, why the hell bring them over in the first place? Because who's going to play it now? It's kind of, I was talking with Brian Gade down in the comments. I think it was of the Shawn Layden video. And I told him, it's kind of like, oh, okay, we're going to bring Dead or Alive Extreme 3 over to the West, but all the girls have to wear shirts. What the hell's the point of playing the game then? And that's it. Already just lost all the fun. Yeah, it's like I said, my guess is that Shawn is going to work with a developer just more closely than he could as just head of Worldwide Studios at Sony. I think that's the most likely scenario. But again, that's my guess. I will definitely be covering that more when we get to it. Sorry about that little tangent. I don't know. I guess it was an interesting tangent, seeing that the rest of this news is all kind of small beans, but... whatever. Basically, if you're new to this program, what we do, we sit here, we talk video game news. I read articles. Sometimes we watch videos. I don't have any this week, but I'm always happy to hear from you guys. You always send me links down in the description, down in the comments below, or the social medias down in the description. Also, down in the description is timestamps, so you can skip around the video if there's maybe not an interesting topic for you, and you want to move on to another one, you can do that. Other than that, there are links to the articles, and I think that's about all I got, so let's actually hop into the first bit of news we have, and that is the Pokemon Company clarifies there are not 18 gyms in Sword and Shield. Article by Brian Shea of Game Informer. See, now, I was interested in this when I read the article, when I read the headline. I'm like, wait, there was a theory that there are going to be 18 gyms in Sword and Shield. And this one claims that there's not, but it kind of confuses me how this game is going to be structured. Maybe it's because I've not really been following Sword and Shield super closely. I know there was a big controversy. I was talking with somebody a couple months ago about the fact that this game, there was apparently people were led to believe that this game would contain every Pokemon since Gen 1 all the way to whatever generation we're at now. I honestly don't know. I've kind of fallen out of loving Pokemon. This will be my first real Pokemon game since, I think, like Ruby and Sapphire, all the way back on the Game Boy Advance. But so a lot of people were kind of frustrated that it's not going to involve all this Pokemon. I was never under the illusion that it would, although I am really happy that Pokemon Sword was announced to have the new evolution of Farfetch'd, so Sirfetch'd is going to be really fun to play with, at least, for somebody like me. I got off into a tangent there, and again, it's like earlier, I keep getting off into tangents here. But no, generally, I haven't been following Sword and Shield super closely, so I didn't know that there was this whole thing with 18 gyms. But either way, let's hop into the article before I just start talking about random shit. In our cover story on Pokemon Sword and Shield this month, we had a sidebar talking about the differences between Pokemon Sword and Shield. In the sidebar, it seemed implied in a quote by director Shigeru Omori that Pokemon Sword and Shield have 18 gyms. However, according to a representative of the Pokemon Company International, the true meaning of the original quote may have been lost in translation between Japanese and English. See, as we go, see if you're like me. Do you just kind of hear this stuff kind of, they're making a distinction without a difference? Because that's how it sounds to me. But again, we'll go and somebody can maybe tell me that I'm completely misinterpreting something in the comments. The original quote from Omari can be seen below in its entirety. Quote, from an actual gameplay and experience perspective, there will be certain gym leaders that will be different depending on which version you've played. In terms of setting itself, the background of the story is there's like this Japanese style J1 and J2, like minor league and major league kind of concept. There are 18 types of gyms in the story, and depending on the version, which gyms are in the minor league and which gyms are in the major league are different. For example, in Sword, the fighting gym will be in the major league, but in Shield, the ghost type. The idea is that every year the Galar region is playing at which gyms make it into the minor league versus the major league changes. Of course, as always, there's a difference in the kinds of Pokemon you can encounter, end quote. Okay, so to me, that says, okay, so, because we already know that in Galar, the gyms and the league challenge or cup or whatever the flip, it's called the Champion Cup, there we go, it's later on in the article. It's kind of like their sporting event. I mean, I'd argue it's always kind of been like that, but with Galar, you know, with their with the way their gyms are structured and the spectators that you just see at gym battle is a lot more there. So yeah, it does strike me as more of this is like a sporting event in this country or in this region. So I guess it makes sense that there would be like a major league and a minor league of gyms, and I'd argue that then there should be like a minor league cup and a major league cup. And I actually think that could be cool, that you work your way up first through the minor league and then you take on the major league. I think that would be really interesting. But like I said, I don't know. We're gonna keep going. Like I said, that's the original. Apparently, there's some clarification. I'm sorry. I'm kind of thinking of what might exist from something that might not actually exist. Like I said, I think the idea of a major league and minor league thing that you work your way up is really interesting, but that might just be me. Many people online read the excerpt of the quote used in the cover story to mean that each game has 18 gyms. Players could battle in various, in each version spread across the major and minor leagues. The Pokemon Company International reached out regarding this quote to clarify how many gyms are in each game. You can see a statement provided by a representative of the Pokemon Company International below, and I quote, "In the Galar region, Pokemon gym battles are a popular sporting event, and the 18 different types of gyms that exist in Galar contribute to the background setting of the story in Pokemon Sword and Shield. In each game, trainers must collect 8 gym badges to complete the gym challenge and earn the opportunity to participate in the Champion Cup. Over the course of the main story, trainers will challenge 8 gyms, which are all in the Major League. Which gyms appear in the Major League and Minor League will differ between Sword and Shield. For example, depending on the version of the game, trainers will be able to challenge different gym leaders such as Bea or Alistair. Each version will have 8 gyms and 8 gym leaders that trainers can battle for a traditional gym challenge experience that fans have enjoyed throughout the Pokemon video game series." And then for more Pokemon Shield, blah, 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 it's clicking the banner below for their coverage. Okay, now reading that again, yeah, I still don't fully understand something here. Why even have the 18 gyms if you're not going to fight 18 gyms? Maybe that just doesn't make sense to me. Because to me, I would argue, why have this whole major league, minor league thing, which is actually, like I said, a cool idea if we can actually fight 18 gym battles, if you're only going to have 8? Because that's what it seems like they're trying to say, there's going to be 18 gyms that you can see in the world, but really you're only going to fight 8. Why? I don't fully understand what's going on. Again, if somebody can maybe provide some clarification, am I correct that there's just going to be 18 in the world, but there's only 8 actual gyms that you can fight that give you the badges to fight in this Champion Cup? But then again, my other question is, then what the flip is the point of the other 10? Yeah, it's to build, it's world building, but why do I need it here? It's just taking up space. It's giving me the thought of, oh, I could do something really cool in this Pokemon game that I actually can't. I don't know. Maybe again, it's like I said, maybe it's just me. But if anybody else could also, if anybody else out there is also kind of like going, yeah, that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Why are there gyms that you aren't fighting in this game? Like I said, that might just be me. So yeah, if anybody has any like more firm information or their takes on it, please down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But either way, let's move on. All right, on to some Rockstar news. Apparently, Red Dead 2 will be coming to PC next month. This article, I'm mostly just, I really don't have a whole lot of commentary to talk about. It's just, given the other article that I'm going to be talking about, which is going to be a lot more opinion, I thought it would be, it would be poor of me to not mention this bit. So, this article coming from Tom Phillips of, this is a Eurogamer. Let's see. Surprise, Red Dead Redemption 2 is getting a PC version, and it launches next month on the 5th of November. It will be available via Rockstar's own PC launcher, Epic Game Store, Green Man Gaming, the Humble Store, GameStop, and additional digital retailers. There will be a Google Stadia version as well, or also, whatever. What about Steam? It will launch on Steam too, but not until December. Pre-purchase the PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 from the Rockstar launcher, and you'll get some bonuses: the snazzy Warhorse mount, the treasure map, and cash bonus for story mode, plus 50 gold bars for Red Dead Online. You'll also get to pick 2 free games from the following list: GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Bully, LA Noire, and Max Payne 3. I would suggest Bully and LA Noire, but that's just me. Or Bully and something else, because Bully kicked ass. Which, speaking of Bully, we'll actually be talking about Bully in a little bit. A PC version of Red Dead Redemption 2 has long been expected, with recent hints such as new ratings board listings, and it popped up on Rockstar's employee's LinkedIn profile, sort of giving the game away. The biggest hint, of course, has been the arrival of the that PC launcher from Rockstar a few weeks ago. It lets you buy games directly from the developer, so there's no need to share revenue with another storefront, and offers cloud saving. Rockstar says that PC version of the game will feature, quote, a range of graphical and technical enhancements for increased immersion, along with new bounty hunting missions, gang hideouts, weapons, and more, end quote. Expect all the recent Red Dead Online updates as well. Personally, I think you should also give us those missions and gang hideouts, and weapons as DLC for the console version. But hey, you wanna talk about single player DLC for the console version? Well, that's exactly what we were going to talk about next. So let's get into that. If you couldn't tell my frustration about the single player DLC thing with Red Dead 2, well, this article just makes me extremely happy. This is coming from GameSpot and Eddie Makuch. It seems Red Dead Redemption 2 won't get single-player DLC, just like GTA 5. Article Eddie Makuch, as I said, of GameSpot. Because apparently, I almost said Telltale, because apparently Rockstar is only interested in doing online stuff. Great. Just like Grand Theft Auto 5, it appears Rockstar's newest game, Red Dead Redemption 2, also will not receive any single-player expansions. Lead online producer Katie Pica, I'm not sure, told VG247 that Rockstar is completely committed to working on Red Dead Redemption 2's online mode. I'm going with Pica. Added that the new Red Dead Online content has single-player sensibilities, but in an online environment, and single-player people don't fucking want that. God damn it. This is just like all the shit with that I'm getting pissed off with Ghost Recon Breakpoint about. It doesn't need an online element. Look, if Red Dead wants an online element, have an online element, just like GTA 5. I can choose to play it, I can choose not to play it. I don't care. It just frustrates me that I have to be online to play all this extra shit that you could just add to the mainline story. I don't get it. And if you want to say, AJ, the future is online modes, and the future is shared worlds, and the future is blah, 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 blah. Whatever. For a company that has said they are still dedicated to single-player games and and single-player stories, and to an industry that's even come out and basically said it. I've seen so many developers come out, no, we're still interested in making single-player games and all this stuff. It just frustrates me when, we don't want to put any effort and expansions into all this. Some people, I guess, would argue that, they're expansions that should have just been in the game, at the start, and you shouldn't have to pay any extra. I don't mind expansions. Again, I still say to this day that I think the company that handled DLC the absolute best was CD Projekt Red in The Witcher 3, where it gave you a bunch of cosmetic and tiny small shit for free, and then it dropped, okay, here's an expansion. It's an extra 20 hours. In that game, you want even more content? Here's a $30 expansion that's going to add about 40 hours of gameplay, a new region, and won multiple fucking awards. Granted, it didn't do that before launch. It did that after launch. But still, you can do single-player expansion. I don't get why they're so focused on this online. Well, okay, let me rephrase. I understand why Rockstar is very focused on the online feature, and that's because GTA Online was so incredibly popular. It still is. The problem is, I don't think somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Red Dead Online has had anywhere near the amount of popularity that GTA Online has. I'm not saying it's not popular and that it's not, it's a Rockstar game. It's well made from everything that I've heard, but it's not going to grab that cultural relevance that Grand Theft Auto, the GTA Online had. I just don't understand why they will not drop single-player DLC. Because it was what a lot of people wanted in GTA 5, too. People were calling out for it. And nothing ever happened. I don't get it. I get it, they think they can make more money online. I say I don't get it, but I do get it, if that makes sense. On the one hand, I understand they're trying to make money, and they see that they can make more money online, and I think that some people have even said they can make a lot of money easily through the online stuff. But at the same time, I don't get why you won't listen to the fans that are saying, the sizable amount of fans that are saying, we want single-player DLC. We want these things that we don't have to have an online connection to play. We want things that we can just do on our own. Oh, you can do all this stuff. It's story focused. Well, yeah, but I want to be my Arthur Morgan that I'm creating from the storyline, and I want Dutch, and I want all these characters. I'm actually not sure if Dutch and all these characters are in the online version, because I know GTA Online had some crossover there. You saw some characters from GTA 5 and GTA Online, but still, I want to do it as part of my posse from Grand Theft Auto, or from Red Dead 2. I don't want to be this new character. It bothers me. Whatever. Sorry. I'm starting to rant because I'm getting mad. My head's now starting to hurt a little bit. Quote, we're 100% focused on online right now because, like I said, there's just so much to do. Like, fucking what? And we're just hoping to bring everything that a player can love about single player into the online world and fleshed out, end quote, Pika said. Okay. And this is I really wonder, do a lot of developers understand? And look, and I can only speak for myself here, but I'm gonna make it sound like I'm making generalizations. I want it noted that what I'm about to say here, this is in my opinion, the way I view games. I've never understood this idea that, you can do single player stuff in these online worlds too. Well, yeah, but I need to have that online connection. There's always that possibility that somebody's going to start dropping me messages and talking to me, and I don't want that when I'm playing games. It was something that my ex-girlfriend did a lot. She kept trying to text me and just start these little bullshit conversations while, maybe there's a reason she's my ex-girlfriend. But either way, she kept trying to text me and talk to me and all this stuff while I'm just trying to relax and play a video game. Like, leave me alone. Like, if you need to talk to me, that's fine. But so many people want to have these conversations that it's just, I'm sitting here going, look, I want to play The Last of Us. Like right now, because it came, Last of Us Remastered was free on PS Plus, I decided to hop back into it. The game is freaking amazing. But people keep trying to talk to me, and that's why I turn off all my notifications on my PlayStation, so I don't have things popping up while I'm trying to record or while I'm trying to just relax. It's like I said, it's why I usually put do not disturb on my phone while I'm playing games. I don't want to see other people while I'm playing a single-player game and trying to enjoy and immerse myself in a world, because then I see somebody running around that doesn't look natural in the game. It looks like it's clear who another character is, or who another actual real-life player is, and it takes me out of the immersion. Because everybody runs around like idiots, bumping into each other, running into walls. You see a giant mass of people just standing there while they're in a cutscene, but it just looks like there's a giant flock of people just standing around. It's like I said, it's for me, single player is about the immersion and becoming a character and enjoying being part of a world. Honestly, it's what I've always said. I've never really enjoyed silent protagonists. As much as I love the Persona franchise, it's one of my least favorite things about the fact that the main character doesn't talk. It frustrates me. Fire Emblem Three Houses is the same way. I hate silent protagonists because it doesn't let me help me become a character. I understand why they do it, because there's the idea, and I'm sure that this is going to be my opinion versus some other people's opinions, but it's that, so you can implant your own voice and your own personality in the character, but why? I just give them a voice, because because to me it starts to feel like everything is happening around the character, but the character is only doing shit. The character is just a force. The character is not a character. I saw this in sometimes when it's done well. From a third person perspective, I can, at least because I can see my character interacting with people even though they're not talking, so it's a little better in third person. But I think a game that really accentuates my problem with this is Far Cry. Oh, holy crap, New Dawn, the spinoff of 5. I actually, there were bits and pieces I liked about that game, but one of my biggest problems or even just Far Cry 5 in general, I think also had this problem, where there were moments where your character did something, but was watching people celebrate from about 5 feet back. You feel like your character isn't participating in really celebrating with everybody. Your character is just watching things happen. Your character isn't interacting and being a part of the story. Your character is just the driving force that moves things along. But your character themselves really isn't even a character. It's like I said, you're a force. You're not a person. I don't like that about this stuff. And yeah, I know now I'm talking about my problem within single player games themselves, and I've kind of danced off this topic. I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to get at is the things I love about a single player game can't be recreated in an online world. They can't be recreated in this stuff, because for the most part, I want to be left the hell alone. And it's like I said, it frustrates me. Sorry, I went on a really bad tangent there. Or not even a tangent, I just went on a small rant. Red Dead Redemption 2's latest content release was the Massive Frontier update, which introduced the first of the roles that players can take on in Red Dead Online. The first roles include Bounty Hunter, Trader, and Collector. You can read more about the update in GameSpot's coverage here. Going back to the VG 24/7 interview, Red Dead Online producer Tariq Hamad said Rockstar as a company remains committed to single-player games. Well, okay. I already said it earlier. I don't get that, but you're only focusing on your online components. Whatever. Rockstar is known for its story, and the story modes of GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 were celebrated. True. Quote, we all love single-player games, and Red Dead Redemption 2's absolutely massive story and equally massive epilogue are hopefully evident of that, and quote, Hamad said. Yes, I will agree with that. But when you also have fans calling out for single-player DLC, and then you're like, nah, we're only going to work on the online stuff, that just, I don't know, that feels like a contradiction to me. I get where you could argue it's not, but, yeah. Quote, the team's ambition for Red Dead Redemption 2 were sky high in every way, and when we are building worlds of that scale, the single-player experience almost always leads the way, Hamad said. Our ambitions for our online games are just as high, and with Red Dead Online, we are continuing to build and expand to match the world we created for Red Dead Redemption 2's story, not just with the roles, but other activities, new random events, characters to meet, new ways to engage with the world, and further inhabit your character, as well as trying to improve the overall experience, end quote. See, but now this makes me ask the question: what's the point of what's the point of Red Dead Online? Because if you're trying to make it the shared world, oh, there's story in Red Dead Redemption Online, and there's this, and there's that, and there's interaction with the world. Well, why not let me create a character for a Red Dead game and just make a single player there that I can play with the shared world elements, or just completely turn that shit off? Instead, you're trying to sell me, oh, you can play Red Dead Online alone. Yeah. But you have to be connected online, and again, there'll still be other people showing up and all this stuff, and oh, you can do all these activities. But it's just like, oh, you can play tennis and have shootouts with other people in GTA Online. I'm like, I just don't want to. Again, it's one of those, I just don't understand the I don't understand the way he's describing Red Dead Online. It's like I said, you want to have an online mode, have an online mode. You want to have it be as, like I said, you want to have the scale and the ambitions or whatever just as high for the online mode as you did the single player mode. That's great. That's laudable. But for the love of God, you could do it separately. You can still put work into the single-player game after launch. I just don't understand why, because of the online feature, we can't get single-player DLC for the many people who want that. I just don't get it. Explaining why GTA 5 did not get any single-player DLC, Rockstar issued a similar-sounding statement years ago. Quote, "We did not feel single-player expansions were either possible or necessary, but we may well do them for future projects," unquote. Rockstar design director Imran Sarwar said the new expansions for GTA Online and Red Dead Online are free, but the online modes make money from microtransactions, which can be lucrative. Ding, 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 ding. Rockstar recently launched its own PC store, which has yet again fueled the rumors of speculation that Red Dead Redemption 2, we already know that it will be coming to PC. Yeah, for all my, like I said, I hope all my rants kind of were coherent. Again, I'm just kind of sitting here talking. My head's starting to hurt a little bit from frustration, but the last thing I want to touch on, it's this quote where it's saying future single player expansions were not possible. Okay, I want to know how they were not possible. Like, are you talking you just didn't have the resources to do them, but you had the resources to do online DLC. You had the resources to do all that online DLC, but not give us anything for people who don't want to play the online feature. And I played the GTA online feature. I didn't get the love personally, but whatever. Again, that's my opinion. But the necessary comment, I think, is the more frustrating. Because, like I said, possible can come down to money, resources, whatever. Okay, that's at least understandable and tangible. But the comment of necessary kind of pisses me off. Oh, well, it's not necessary. Well, is GTA Online necessary? No, it was just an idea that you wanted to do. Is Red Dead Online necessary? No. It was, again, going back to the DLC the company that I thought did DLC so fantastically with The Witcher 3. After a game like The Witcher 3, was DLC like Hearts of Stone or Blood and Wine necessary? No, they weren't necessary. But they were welcome. They were loved. They were award-winning, goddammit. That's what I don't get. It's saying, oh, we didn't think it's necessary. It makes you sound like I don't want to say the word entitled. It makes you sound like a pompous dickhead. Granted, I think I sound like a pompous asshole sometimes too, but granted, mostly because I'm sitting here talking into a mic, expecting you guys to just listen to me go off on whatever I find interesting. But again, now I'm getting a little meta, and that's weird. But no, I think that makes you sound like an asshole. Why? I've gone on way too long on this one topic, and if I keep going, it's going to piss me off even further. So we're going to move on to I guess another article that's going to kind of frustrate me, but either way. All right, well, after getting frustrated by that whole DLC thing and ranting, hopefully I can keep myself from doing that too much here. But apparently, Bully 2 existed and was playable, but never got off the ground, according to Rockstar sources, article Vicky Blake of Games Radar. Be kind of a shorter article. While we're periodically driven into a rumor mill frenzy of hope, most recently in August, courtesy of a GTA Online bully Easter egg found in the GTA Online Casino update, it seems that Rockstar 2 wants a bully sequel and even worked on the successor for 18 months after Red Dead Redemption's release. According to VGC, two well-placed sources have corroborated claims by YouTubers, I'm not even going to attempt that a sequel had indeed been in production, with development progressing as far as a, quote, very small slice of playable gameplay, complete with simplistic open-world gameplay. While the sources seemingly wouldn't pin down specifics, it's thought Rockstar New England was leading development for an esteemed 18-month period, somewhere between Red Dead Redemption's release in 2010 and the end of 2013. However, the momentum behind Bully 2 fizzed out, and the development team was subsequently redeployed to other projects, including principal artist Drew Medina and Rockstar New York's visual director Stephen Olds. Quote, "It existed, it was playable, it was just a shame it never got off the ground," the source reportedly says. Sadly, neither source would be drawn on rumors that a sequel is in development now, but watch the space. In Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the game's side quests reward the player with the Callaway revolver, which has Canis Canum edit engraved on the side, Bully's official title in the UK, and the GTA Online Casino update added a painting in the game also titled Canis Canum edit, with so many teasers, it's little wonder many think Bully 2 is actively in the works at Rockstar, perhaps slated to release on PS5 and Xbox Project Scarlet next year. Now, do I think that it is in production currently? No, I'm going to be entirely honest. I think Rockstar is kind of like Disney in a way, where it likes to reference its previous titles in other games. So it would actually surprise me if it was in development. But I hope somewhere down the line we really do get. If I've talked about this before, I absolutely love Bully. I think the game, how it was able to take that sort of Rockstar GTA aesthetic and gameplay loop and actually apply it to this boarding school, and actually make an M-rated game a T game, but without sacrificing its comedy and its satire of American society and just everything. I thought it was great. Well, it wasn't really satire of American society because, the whole boarding school aspect. I guess it was more of a parody. It was more of a satire of youth behavior in a way. I would love to see a Bully 2. I would actually. I've always said the thing that I would love to see with Bully 2 is Jimmy actually growing up, going to like a public high school or something, and kind of go M. You can bump up the language. You can make things a little bit more violent. I'm not saying you have to go full gangland and give guns and everything, but I think you could do a lot of cool shit. I almost go Saints Row with it in a way. I'm not saying make it as crazy as like Saints Row the Third, but maybe you can keep it more grounded like the first two Saints Row games, and still have the comedy and still have the sort of dark, callous humor of Rockstar. I really think that they could do some cool shit with Bully 2, and I really do hope someday we will get to play it. Now, like I said, do I think because of these Easter eggs it's in development? No, I'm going to need to see something substantial, not just, oh, they're making references to. Okay, great. They're making references to a game. That's not surprising with Rockstar, but yeah, I do hope we see a Bully 2 eventually. I want that stated, that I do hope we see Bully 2 eventually. But the first allusion, let's keep going with the article. The first allusion to Bully 2 was in 2009 when Bully composer Sean Lee said, quote, "It looks like I will be doing the soundtrack for Bully 2 in the not-so-distant future," end quote. The page is now archived, but you can check it out here thanks to the Wayback Machine. Since then, in an interview, Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser, quoted in an archived CVG article here, said the property is one that Rockstar adores and, quote, might come back to in the future. End quote, following the development of Max Payne 3, and that was way back in 2012. It's clearly time to put us out of our misery, Rockstar. No, and I agree with that last statement. I think people have been waiting and calling for Bully 2 for so long. that it's about time. I get it. You wanted to make a sequel. I get it. They were working on Max Payne 3, and then it was GTA 5. Or wait, when GTA 5 come out? No, GTA 5 was after 2012. Yeah, definitely. So I get it. You wanted a new Grand Theft Auto. Okay, understandable. You wanted a new Red Dead because of the success of Red Dead. Okay, understandable. Perfectly. But by now, it's time for a Bully 2. It's time that we, finally hear something. Either confirm it or say it's dead. Sadly, kind of like what happened to L.A. Noire, which I have always wanted a sequel to, but will never get because, one, Team Bondi is out of commission, and two, L.A. Noire was just fantastic, but that's just me. But yeah, Bully 2, I think I really just want Rockstar to come out and say, it's happening, or the project's dead. So, that's all I want, and hopefully I was able to keep that one mostly rant-free, but yeah, let's move on. I think to close out, we got some Persona news. Alright, to start things off, we got an article by Adam Bankhurst. Persona 3 and Persona 4 protagonists are boss fights in Persona 5 Royal. Apparently this is going to be some sort of challenge mode. I really like this idea, but let's hop into the article and we'll find some more out. Persona 5 Royal will feature a special DLC that will see Persona 5's Phantom Thieves facing off against the protagonists from Persona 3 and Persona 4. As reported by Polygon, the news was revealed during a Japanese Morgana's report stream, and we'll see the battles taking place in the Velvet Room as challenge bosses, which are extra tough. The trailer shows the Persona 4 U protagonist with Izanagi, and images from the Japanese Persona 5 website shows Persona 3's protagonist Makoto using Thanatos. Yeah, Thanatos, that was the name of that one. The DLC will also include, quote, chibi looks from Persona Q2, New Cinema Labyrinth, and outfits from Persona 5 Dancing All Night, or Dancing Star Night, god damn it, that can be used as skins on Persona 5's heroes. Morgana Report also showcased the My Palace feature, which is a gallery mode of sorts that allows players to view cutscenes, concept art, and listen to the music from Persona 5's soundtrack. Players will also be able to customize their palace and control any of the Phantom Thieves to walk around and explore. Persona 5 Royal is launching in Japan on PlayStation on October 31st, 2019, and will release in the West sometime in 2020, which actually, our final article is going to be a rumored Western release date. Not only does Persona 5 Royal feature an extra semester of gameplay and further additions to the PlayStation 4 title from 2016 that we gave a 9.7, I would argue that's low. It should be a perfect 10, but that's just me and my love of Persona talking. It goes, quote, beyond the expectations of those we have experienced the volume of Persona 4 Golden. I love Persona. I've said this for the longest time. I love this idea of having this challenge mode against the P4 and P3 protagonists. I would love the idea that maybe we can pick up Orpheus, or we can pick up Izanagi, or that, we can get the main characters' original personas, and Thanatos and all this. I think that would be really cool. But I like the idea that we're gonna see some sort of connection here. I'm gonna be honest, I really, really wish that they would redo the dialogue for they would redo the American dialogue for Igor in the Velvet Room, because it really annoyed me that Igor's voice is completely different. I get it. Igor always has a different, I don't want to call them a sidekick, but helper in the Velvet Room. And the Velvet Room always kind of changes its sort of look. In Persona 3, it was, that chair with Igor at the desk. In Persona 4, it was inside that limousine. And Persona 5, it was the jail cell, which made, it kind of fits thematically with the different games. I've played the first two Persona games sparingly, so I'm not going to say Igor was or was not a character in those. I just don't think he was. I think he was more in, because 3, 4, 5, I would argue, are vastly different games than 1 and 2 were. But that's, again, we can talk about that somewhere down the road if you want. The point I'm trying to make is I really want them to bring back Igor's original voice actor. I don't even know why I was talking about the themes, or the way the Velvet Room looked and his helpers or whatever. I was making point that, yes, it always changes, but Igor's voice stayed consistent in the first two games. There was the connection I was trying to make. And how in 5, his voice is different. It's deeper. It's a different actor entirely. Can we get the original actor back? Because I think the original voice fit Igor way better, but that's personal opinion. All right, sorry, I rambled enough. On to the last article. Let's close this out. Okay, guys, to close things out, this is a rumor article, Robert Ramsey of Push Square. So, rumor, Persona 5 Royal releases in the same month as Final Fantasy VII Remake, so apparently March could be big. All right, reading the article, we know that Persona 5 Royal is set to release next spring here in the West, but we don't yet have a confirmed date. We can't imagine that an announcement is far off, but thanks to the latest issue of Game Informer, as spotted by Persona Central, the release month may have just been outed. In an interview with the Persona character designer Shigenori Soejima, the artist mentions that Persona 5 Royal is coming west in March 2020. It's possible that this is some kind of mistake, but it obviously lines up with what we've already known. With what we already know, sorry. Final Fantasy VII Remake launches on the 3rd of March, so if this turns out to be true, JRPG fans are in for one heck of a month. We just hope that the dates don't clash too badly. Honestly, I'm not going to say there's not a lot of crossover for people who play Persona and people who play Final Fantasy who want to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I would argue that there are some people like me who would just as easily go, Final Fantasy VII Remake? No, not interested. Persona 5 Royal? All in. And for me, it's the connection of how much I A, love Persona, and B, love turn-based RPGs, which, I'm going to be honest, Final Fantasy VII Remake just is not. Even with the inclusion of the classic mode, it's not a turn-based. It is, but it isn't. It's trying to argue, oh, there's turn-based element. Yeah, it kind of is, but for the most part, I want my turn-based elements like Persona. You know, where it's my side, their side, and we duke it out. I'm very excited for Persona 5 Royal. I'd argue that there wouldn't be as much of a clash, but I don't know. I've been wrong on predictions before. So, would you take Persona 5 Royal in March? I'd take it now if you could give me a translated version and all that, because I can't read Japanese. Would you want it to be the last couple of weeks removed from Final Fantasy VII Remake? Start planning ahead, blah blah blah. So there you go, guys. There we have a rumored release date for Persona 5 the Royal. So there's a show this week, guys. Like I said, I know it was a lot of, as the title says, bits and bobs, but there really wasn't a lot of, like, one big news story to focus on this week, other than a little Sean Layden thing, but like I said, I already covered that in a separate video. So I want to say, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links and stuff is down in the description below. Like, comment, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more next time. But until then, my name's H.A. Gels. This is Something Gaming Channel. I'm out.